Horse brains. I changed the lighting in my room to blue because that's a lot of movies will just add like a blue filter if they want a movie to a scene to appear dark. And I was like, well, it's not going to be dark. I'm about to go to sleep. Teeth are all brushed, and I got my night guard in so I don't grind my teeth in my sleep, but it makes it kind of difficult to talk, so I'll leave that out for now. I've been having a lot of lucid dreams recently. A lot of dreams where I'm aware that it's a dream and I'm in control. And personally, the easiest way to do that, if anybody's trying to get to be lucid within their dreams and like control their dreams or be essentially like awake in your dream and knowing it's a dream without waking up. Best way to do that is to fall asleep for like 5 hours and then wake up and like, I don't know, like get up, go to the bathroom, just like walk around a little in your room or whatever, just for like 30 seconds, a minute, and then go back to sleep. And then as you're going back to sleep, if you're like don't resist the sleep, but still keep your mind active, sort of thing. As in, like, just like, I know I'm gonna be dreaming. I'm gonna like sleep or whatever. I don't really have to do that mind part. I just like wake up after 5 hours, and then if I go back asleep after that, then there's a good chance I'll be in a lucid dream. I've done it enough times. Anyway, the thought I was having about this is being conscious in those dreams, like the heightened sense of consciousness in those dreams. It's really like you're on fucking drugs, in the sense that like you're experiencing something that seems real, but it isn't. You're seeing like one of the most incredibly realistic and detailed hallucinations you possibly could. And I wonder if I should be charging my phone while this is in. I don't know if it's going to affect the audio or not. I guess that's not where the audio is coming from. I'm stupid. Anyway, what's weird about so I was having a lucid dream a few nights ago. And I remember, okay, so without going into too much detail, I'm a pervert. If I'm in a dream and I'm aware I'm in a dream, the first thing I'm going to try and do is like, okay, where's the cartoon characters that I'm attracted to that I want to fuck? And I'm going to like try and either find them or conjure them or whatever. And that's what's going to happen. And the sensations, the like physical sensations in those dreams is literally just like real life. It's like, it's actually incredible just what those physical sensations are. And so I'm like, nothing's happening to me in real life. Like, nothing's happening in real life that would be causing those physical sensations to happen, right? And this is the big difference between dreams and lucid dreams, is I find that regular dreams, it's the exact opposite, where there might be a sensation placed upon you, whether it's like you're cold, like let's say the air conditioner's on too high, or like the temperature of the house changed, or like your stomach hurts. Like, your brain will start to come up with rationalizations as to why that's the case. Like, people say that you'll have nightmares if you eat like really spicy food and ice cream before you go to bed. It's like, that's just your stomach being upset, and then your brain, as you're sleeping, trying to rationalize why you're feeling upset. So it'll create this like crazy concoction of like, oh, you're on an elevator and you're falling, but the floor of the elevator is like teetering and it's giving out and blah 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 blah. And so like people have tried to interpret dreams in a way of being like, okay, if this is in your dream, it means this, or like something, symbolically. But my understanding of dreams, at the very least, ones that aren't lucid, is that your brain is constantly telling stories, right? In our current reality, our current perception of reality, your brain is telling stories, and it's trying to come up with an understanding of the world. You're getting sensory input, and your brain has to tell a story to yourself to understand the sensory input and how you're receiving it. This is why optical illusions work. This is why, if you can look on YouTube, there's an optical illusion called like the window optical illusion. That one's fascinating because it only works on people who have seen windows, right? So something that you get used to, all of a sudden, it creates this. You'll just have to look it up to know it. Pause the video, look that up, come back to this, then you'll have the context for what I'm saying, because I'm not editing that in, I guess. That I don't want these to become too complicated. Maybe I'll edit it in. Maybe I'll do that. I have like a few minutes before I'm going to bed. Maybe I'll do that. Anyway, our brain tells us stories, even in conscious life, of just what sort of information we're receiving and how to process that information. This is why, witness testimony is often unreliable. It's because a lot of people, our brains will tell us things that didn't actually happen. And so it's no different when you're asleep. You're sleeping. I think, there's that classic prank where, like, you take someone's hand and you put it on warm water to make them pee themselves while they're sleeping. Like, so perhaps in their unconscious state, there's a part of their brain being like, oh, why is my hand warm and wet? Why do I feel warm water? Oh, it must be because I'm peeing, and they start peeing. Thankfully, I have a superpower where I can actually pee in my dreams. I can literally, like, in my dreams, I can just go to the bathroom. If I have to pee while I'm sleeping, my brain's like, oh, I gotta pee, and then I'll, like, find a bathroom in my dream, and then I'll, like, take a full piss, and then, like, come back. But then I'm like, I still have to pee, and then I wake up. I'm like, oh, I have to pee. And I didn't piss my bed, which is a lovely, awesome superpower that I have. But with lucid dreams, I started thinking about how undeniably realistic those sensations are while dreaming. Like, the whole pinch yourself to see if you're dreaming, like, is that supposed to imply, like, oh, you won't feel being pinched? Because when I'm lucid dreaming, I do feel being pinched. When I'm lucid dreaming, I feel every feeling that I would if I were conscious, or at least everything that I've tried or am aware of or have noticed. And I wrote that down in I have like a huge list of like horse thoughts videos. Sorry I haven't posted one of these in a while, but some of them are just like, oh, I don't want to open that door right now, and all the comments, and like, so, I haven't had a lot of time. I've been pretty busy as fuck. My brother's getting married, and I'm making a video for that. I'm trying to finish my residency application that's still not done, that I needed to have done in April. It's still not done. Anyway, my lucid dreams, I had another one after that first one. And it was like, I started realizing I was dreaming. I was at like an amusement park. And I was like in control. I was like, okay, I'm dreaming, but I'm fighting waking up. And the key to fighting waking up is not getting stressed about it. As soon as you get too excited about like, oh, I gotta know I'm dreaming, I gotta not wake up. As soon as you get that level of excitement, you'll accidentally wake up. You'll wake up and you'll be like, ah, shit. You want to like keep yourself really calm and confident and know that you're in control. And I got my hair still not gone. The second lucid dream that I had recently, it was like an amusement park, and I was like, okay, well, where's Scar? Whatever. Oh God, I can't. There's other details that I can't remember if like were in my first one or second one, so I'll say those later. But I found like adult Simba. I was like, okay, he'll do, or whatever. And then at a certain point of just like trying to like will things in existence and like characters and scenarios, which is complicated and doesn't always work. I'm not a dream architect just yet. I'm not the biggest expert, but shut up, air conditioner. Shut up. I'm talking. What's interesting is in that dream, as I was like walking outside in the amusement park, it was like kind of like an abandoned-ish one. I don't know. There weren't like people there or anything. I wasn't like being an exhibitionist. I was just being a pervert. Okay. Anyway, so I'm like outside. I start walking outside, and it's like gloomy, and it's like raining. It's raining, and I feel the rain on my face. I feel the wetness, the wet rain on my face, and it feels cold. And I'm like, okay, well, with my previous understanding of like, okay, well, dreams are just trying to interpret outside stimuli. My thought was like, okay, well, what if my air conditioner is too cold? What if the temperature changed outside and now I'm just cold in my bed or whatever? And so that at that moment I was like, okay, as much as I'm having fun here, like I'm gonna try and wake up just to check with my body to make sure that I'm like not, like having a fever, like a cold sweat, or like, being fucking weird, having like any kind of like a medical issue, or just the too cold. I don't want to be too cold. And so I woke up, and I still felt wet on my face. I was like, okay, am I having like a fever? Was I having a cold sweat? And it was just my face. It wasn't like the rest of my body. Like, so I didn't think I was having like cold sweats. And so I get up and I'm looking around, and I'm rummaging around in my like backpack because I know I have like a thermometer in there somewhere. I'm like, I'm going to take my temperature. And then after minutes of rummaging around in my room, like trying to figure shit out, I realized that I'm still dreaming. And I woke up within my dream, and there was a second layer of dream that I had yet to wake up from. And that layer, my face was not wet. My face was not wet in the second layer. And so then it's like, okay, well, where was the stimuli coming from? Was it just something I made up in my head? Was it something I willed into existence for no reason, or didn't try to, or subconsciously did? And again, this makes me, if our brains are powerful enough to create such distinct and realistic and uncanny hallucinations just in our own consciousness, or our unconsciousness, or our subconsciousness, if everything that you need to do to create a version of reality that is not happening, that is not true, and make you believe that you're experiencing it, if everything required to do that is in your own head right now, then what does that say about the reliability of our current consciousness, our consciousness when we're awake? What does that say about how many different versions of reality that people have just by existing in different brains? It's a lot to think about, and that was just something I wanted to share. I swear there was one more thing to this, and I'm gonna fucking kick myself. Yeah, so I swear there was one more thing. The problem with me writing the notes down on my phone is that I use the phone to record the video, and then I can't access them while I'm recording the video. I can't like go to the different thing because it will just stop recording. I can't go to my other. Let's try. This will be the end of the video, I guess, if it doesn't work. I don't know. All right, so I looked at the note. So I guess I will be editing this together. Fuck. Yeah, there's an experiment you can do at like some like science centers and stuff. I think the one in Edmonton or Vancouver maybe. There's this experiment you can do where you can trick your brain into feeling something that it's not actually feeling in your own conscious reality, right? So you know how a lot of the times something will hurt more if you're anticipating it, right? Physically, like you're physically anticipating a pain, and then you create that pain by anticipating it. There's an experiment where you can place your hand like on a table, and then someone else in front of you will, like, let's just imagine my finger is their hand. They'll like stroke your finger there, right? They'll stroke just like that. They'll create a very consistent motion for, like, I don't know, 10 seconds, just to like give that stimuli and have it like imprinted on your brain what that feels like. And you're holding your hand out, and then you hold your other hand out. Sorry, you don't hold it. You hold both hands out, and then on the second time, there's a mirror between your left and your right hand, so that your right hand, although your right hand is out, you're actually looking at the mirror, and it's just your left hand repeated. So you're seeing a mirror image of your left hand. And so your brain, the subconscious part of your brain, when you're looking at it, which is also receiving images and somehow knows what those images are, even though the conscious person in your head is the one with the narrative, the story, the interpretation of those things, right? There's someone else in your head, basically. There's something else receiving that information, knowing what a hand is. And so you look over to your other hand, and then the person's going to do the same thing again. Oh, fuck, how does that work? Where they, because of the mirror angle, I swear this is a real thing. Someone's going to have to help me with this. Because of the mirror angle, they're able to, like, stroke over top of your finger without actually touching it, but it looks like they're oh yeah, it's like, okay, I forget, it's so complicated to explain. It's not as simple as I'm explaining it, but there, if you look up a video of this, I swear it's like, it's really interesting. But essentially, they're able to stroke the spot in front of your other hand, and it tricks your brain into thinking that it's seeing that, even though it's not actually happening. It tricks your brain into thinking that their hand is stroking your other hand, even though it's not actually happening. And you can feel something. And it's not as like pronounced and distinct as like, oh wow, like fucking, oh, there's something off about it, but you still feel it. The anticipation of feeling causes there to be a sensation. You still see it, and you're like, oh wow, it feels like you're doing something, even though they're not. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I've been having some lucid dreams, and we'll see how many more I have, because I wasn't intentionally trying to have lucid dreams recently. I'm not like on the hunt, on the prowl for some lucid dreams or anything, but I just so happened to like wake up in the middle of my sleep and then go back to sleep and then go to sleep fine a few nights in a row. I take sleeping pills, so it's easy for me to get back to sleep. There's like enough of it residually in my system that it's like, oh, okay, you go back to sleep and I'm fine. Used to be fucked. Anyway, yeah, there's like guides on how to do lucid dreaming if anybody's interested, but yeah, it's a crazy weird journey. And then yeah, that second dream was like 5 minutes of dream time over the course of like 90 minutes of me sleeping, which is like the opposite of how it is sometimes. Sometimes it feels like hours when it's like only 5 minutes. But the second time was like a dream within a dream. So who knows? You'd think it would have been compounded more like Inception, but maybe it was the opposite. Damn. In one of the dreams, I was like in this room. It might have been me waking up from the... No, I don't think it could have been. I think it was the first dream the first one I was talking about, because I don't remember much about it. I think that was the one where like I was in this room just trying to like fuck whatever furry thing, and then I like looked in the mirror and I was like, shit, like I wasn't my horse persona, but I was like a centaur, and I was like, okay, this'll do, fuck it, great. And so yeah, I had some fun. And I'm a pervert, whatever, I don't care. dreams are weird. Thank you. Have a good night. I'll update this channel again at some point, but the only reason I'm doing this right now is just because I'm going to bed, and I've been so fucking overwhelmed with how much shit I need to do. So there hasn't been a lot of time for just wind down time like this. Even in my wind down time, I'm like fucking exhausted. Anyway. Horse brains, thanks.